Now you come full circle, and you've got a Democratic prosecutor again, back to the days of Jerome Bronson and Tom Plunkett. Jessica Cooper, who was a Court of Appeals judge, pretty darn rare for somebody to step off the appellate bench to run for prosecutor. How do you think she's done as a Democratic prosecutor here in Oakland County?
Decent. And you say, well, why would a judge leave the bench and run for prosecutor? Well, her salary is about 127 as prosecutor, draws down 95 as a judge. So she's making over 200,000, so a little bit of that in there. Only problem I have with Jessica is when we did reapportionment, she was one of the members of the reapportionment committee. Right. She's a Democrat. The new treasurer is a Democrat, and the Democratic chairman is a Democrat. So they got 3, we got 2. We got the clerk and Republican. So they redrew the lines.
Right.
And I mean, if you're on the losing end of that, you call it gerrymandering. If you're on the winning side, you call it, realignment.
Yeah. So you think the map has been rigged for the next decade in favor of the Democrats?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right now, the County Board of Commissioners, which is our legislature, has 15-10.
Yeah.
After the election next year, probably 14-1 against me. So the population didn't change that much. It was who drew the lines that changed. And I think it was Jocelyn Benson screaming about what they did up in Lansing. This was terrible. I said, Jocelyn, come to Oakland County. You don't have to travel over to Lansing. We can show you right here. Some salamander districts go all around.
Well, haven't they filed suit against it?
Yeah, it's in court right now.
You think there's a chance it might be overturned?
50-50. But let's assume that it's overturned. We go right back to the same group. So it's a Pyrrhic victory at best.
Okay. When we talk about economic development here in the county, all the things you mentioned, Automation Alley, how did you come up with that term?
It was a factor of going to lunches, and I speak almost every day now. And in fact, I did back then. And I'd be having lunch with some businessman or businesswoman, and they would say, hey, Brooks, we're having a tough time getting our positions filled. People don't see this region as high-tech. They go to the East Coast, Boston, they go to the West Coast, Silicon Valley, and they may go to Seattle. But nobody comes here, and my positions are going big, and they're the high-tech, high-paid positions. And I heard that refrain so often, I said, okay, how do I respond to that? So I formed this association to literally brand Southeast Michigan as high-tech. And I did that after Pat Anderson did the research, Pat Anderson Economic Group out of Lansing. And he searched the country, and as you would expect, number 1 in America for high-tech employment was Silicon Valley, over 300,000. Boston's Route 128 came in over 200,000, and that's Route 128 is where MIT and so forth are located. So it's a powerhouse. Number 3 was Oakland County, 167,500. And nobody knew that until we did the research. But once we had the research to back it up, the empirical data that I needed, then I went out and marketed it. And the first 43 companies who are our charter companies, we all agreed that we should brand this region in Southeast Michigan for what it really is. It's a high-tech area. So Automation Alley was launched in that very, I think, humble 43 companies. Now we're about 1,020 companies in 8 counties.
Life sciences, how important is that?
Huge. That's the future, I think, in many respects of Oakland County. I was driving around the last few years, as I'm wont to do. I'm going back and forth, and I saw the Providence Hospital out in Novi. A couple $100 million of investment, a couple thousand jobs. I went up to, my travels took me to West Bloomfield Ford Hospital, close to $300 million and about 2,500 jobs. Up where I live in Clarkston, Independence Township, McLaren is coming down from Genesee, $600 million investment for a new hospital and campus there on Sashaball. Over in Rochester, you had the Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine about to be launched. The economic impact of a fully staffed medical school, $3.2 billion. Go down to Royal Oak, City of Royal Oak. They had the hospital, in the City of Royal Oak, Beaumont, had gotten the CON to put in a proton beam therapy accelerator. Bill, all this was going on at one time. I'm saying we got something really good going here. You can sense it. It's in your vibes. All that medical development. So I, again, called Pat Anderson. I said, Pat, quantify it for me. He came out with a report now, which is about 2.5 years old. And he said, this is what you've got. You've got 93,000 people in healthcare in Oakland County. Defining healthcare is medical device manufacturers, R&D, hospitals, clinics. We have 93,000. We got over 4,000 freestanding addresses, where it's the most in the state, where these people perform their various businesses. Pat said you're going to add 45,000 more in the next 5 years. So it was a huge opportunity. So knowing that we had, of my 10 emerging sectors that we've researched, healthcare and life sciences is the fastest growing. It's expanding. And these are the kind of high quality, high paying jobs that I can build a lasting economy around. So I formed Medical Main Street. It's a direct result of those numbers, and we're now trying to brand Oakland County as a destination for excellence in healthcare, which I don't think is out of the reach of all. I mean, I've talked to the CEOs, and they're on my board, from Ford and Providence and Trinity and St. Joe, and right now those hospitals I just named get patients coming in for surgical procedures from 50 states. That's called medical tourism. So it's already happening. All I'm going to do is build it and then leverage it. So Medical Main Street is the mechanism for me to brand this area as a center for excellence in healthcare.
Emerging Sectors Initiative. What is that?
I saw a headline, I think it was Detroit News back in 2003, and it said 200,000 jobs flee Michigan. And I had a sense that these jobs weren't the cyclical things we've seen in automotive. These people were moving out to get jobs, to get employment. And so I called my staff together and I said, look, let's research where the new jobs are going to be coming from. In what sectors will new employment, we can expect growth. And I want that growth to be in companies that will be here. I want some sustainability. I want some longevity. I want high paying, high quality, and jobs that will be here. So my staff went out, and this was 03, came back in 04, and he said, okay, here's the sectors we think is the growth opportunity for Oakland County. We call those sectors emerging sectors. And things you would expect, alternative energy, nanotechnology, advanced manufacturing, aerospace, IT, healthcare, and life sciences, one of the 10, which is now dominant. It's just it's really moving away from the others as far as dollars invested. And we track those on a monthly basis. And I can almost quote you the numbers exactly. I just saw the report a couple of days ago. It would be for October. So every month I get a full report. It's under just the umbrella of emerging sectors. I mean, other companies are coming in, like Borg Warner. I didn't count them because they're automotive. We brought in 198 companies that have invested $1.8 billion since we kicked off, created about 28,000 jobs, retained 10,000, paid over $4 billion in taxes. I think that's the number. And the taxes, that's federal, state, and local. And we get out of that about $4 million. So the program pays for itself. So emerging sectors, I think, is going to be a legacy program of my administration. It's going to continue. We're going to continue to attract companies. And it's basically what you know it to be. It's an effort to diversify the economic base of Oakland County, because we had all our eggs in the automotive basket, and we got hit hard. In 2009, we lost 60,000 jobs. And I say we, Oakland County. In 2010, we had over 10,000 foreclosures. Why? Everybody was caught up in the industry that imploded. So clearly, my job was to diversify the economic base of Oakland County as fast as I could. Emerging sectors was the vehicle. It's working. I think it's going to take total maybe 25 to 30 years. We got 7 into it, so we're about a fourth of the way through. The point is, when it's done, we will have a diversified economic base. I will concede to you that we will not be recession-proof, but we will be recession-resistant. I think that's the most I can accomplish.
How important is it for the county to be digitally advanced?
Translating the phrase digitally advanced, because that's what the Center for Digital Government talks about. They consider us, Oakland County, to be the most digitally advanced county in America. Really what that means is technology. Have we embraced technology? Have we inculcated the advantages of technology into our work process? The answer is yes. And they use the phrase, you're the most digitally advanced county. It means that we have finally brought technology into daily use by my employees. We're trained in it. You don't come here unless you've got certain skill sets, and the county is not an employer of last resort. We really do get good people applying. And that same Center for Digital Government just awarded us the distinction of having the second best government website in America. So we're proud of our commitment to and investment in technology.
Quality of life programs here in Oakland County.
Yeah, I have a lot of those. I spent the first probably 10, 12 years, maybe, I don't like exactly say when it was, working on economic development. But I realized there was more than just having a good high-paying job. You want to have a quality of life, a place where a family's going to want to stay, raise the family, invest here, and so forth. So I started looking at quality of life events that would make it a fun place. Hey, live in Oakland County, look at all the neat things they have. I think my first quality of life venture was Arts, Beats, and Eats.
Right.
Back in '99, I sort of saw what was happening in the Chicago Food Fair, whatever it's called over there. So we took the idea and expanded. We're going to have Arts, Beats, and Eats. Arts, we have about 140 artisans from around the country who are juried art. Beats. We had over 250 bands, and Eats, about 60 premier restaurants. Wrapped them all together, and a Labor Day festival attracts about 500,000 people. It's immensely successful. That was the first one we did.